Welcome back to Make Me a Fan. I'm the Jag.
I'm Pete.
And today we are watching yet another ladder match. 'Tis the season for ladders, apparently. Yesterday we watched a ladder match between Kevin Steen. Ladder Wars 4 between Kevin Steen and El Generico. We would say Generico, but we'll just say Generico because he's pretty daggone generic. But today is another Ladder Wars?
Ladder Wars 6.
Ladder Wars 6. All right, Encyclopedia, who's in this match?
So we've got the Young Bucks.
Oh, okay.
We've got the Addiction, and I also believe Motor City Machine Guns.
Motor City Machine Guns. All right. Now I've heard of the Young Bucks, and I've heard the name Motor City Machine Guns. And who's the other team?
And then it's also the Addiction.
The Addiction. All right. So who are all these guys?
Well, so the Addiction is Daniels and Kazarian and Sky.
Okay.
So they eventually become SCU.
That makes sense. sense.
Yeah. So eventually, this is when Sky gets into the mix.
All right.
Because previously they were Addiction, and it was just Daniels and Kazarian.
Okay, and then Motor City Machine Guns
is Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin.
Okay, now that sounds like a TNA tag team, but you said
yes, they were in TNA originally,
but they're also in
Ring of Honor.
Now, are we watching this on Honor Club?
We are watching this on Honor Club.
All right, so if you don't have Honor Club, is this something you would recommend that they watch?
Oh yeah, for sure. This is All-Star Extravaganza #8. This is a really good show.
All right,
2016. So we're gonna see like high vintage Young Bucks, like Young Bucks at their zenith.
I feel like there are some super kicks coming.
Oh, there's gonna be a super kick party.
All right, the last time I saw super kicks, they had tats on the bottom of their toppers. So who knows what's gonna happen in this match?
You're gonna see pretty much everything in the kitchen sink.
All right, we just saw tables, ladders, and chairs from the WWE this past Sunday. I would say it was a decent show, but it was not amazing.
It wasn't as good as Ladder Wars 4.
It wasn't as good as Ladder Wars 4, and now we're watching Ladder Wars 6. And we'll see if it's better. What do you think?
I think that there's a high probability.
All right, this is my second Ring of Honor match in all the history of the Jag and the Encyclopedia. The last one was awesome. We'll see if this one is awesome. Young Bucks, Motor City Machine Guns,
and the Addiction.
And the Addiction. We will see if the Encyclopedia can make the Jag a fan. We're about halfway through this match. And I gotta be honest, you guys trust the Jag to be 100% honest. I am not a huge fan of this match. Now let me can I riff for a second? Okay. AEW fans will love this freaking match because it is simply a collection of high spots. There's not a real story. There's not a point A to point Z. It's just spot, 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 spot. And with the spot showcase is a lot of waiting, a lot of standing around, a lot of, convenience, where you happen to roll into the right spot at the right time. There was literally a moment where one of the guys from, I think it was Kazarian, or maybe it was one of the Motor City guys, was outside just setting up tables. It was like he was on the freaking ring crew. He's just out there setting up tables while the guys inside are doing their spot. At another point, inside the ring, Motor City Machine Guns had Christopher Daniels in the ladder, and they were doing
talking about it being a panini.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck that was all about. But outside, you literally see the Young Bucks leaning on each other like this, watching the whole match. And then probably the worst part is, well, this was actually a cool reversal. One of the guys, I don't know their names, I'm sorry, from Motor City Machine Guns gets a kind of a bulldog headlock. He's going to run up the post and go into like a DDT kind of a thing. But one of the Young Bucks, I'm not sure which, is able to reverse it and put him in tombstone position, which you know what that means, America.
Indie Taker.
Yes. Well, what's that? Well, the Meltzer driver, right?
Well, there's also, Is
it called the Indie Taker or the Meltzer?
There's an Indie Taker, there's the Meltzer driver, and then there's also more bang for your buck. They've got a ton of moves.
All right, well, what happens is the other Young Buck brother is on the ladder in the ring. He gets knocked off the ladder, out of the ring, but oh, look, he's in the perfect position to assist him on the tandem-assisted tombstone or date. I thought it was called the Meltzer driver, whatever. The convenience factor in this match is frankly making me sick. Now, I might be a little bit spoiled because we just watched on Wednesday Elix Skipper and Christopher Daniels versus
James Storm and Chris.
Yes, America's Most Wanted? Yeah, AMW. So that was a fantastic match. And then yesterday, we watched Kevin Steen versus El Generico in Ladder Wars #4, which had an amazing story, and there was like no wasted energy, time, or effort in that match. And now in this match, it's just a spot showcase. And the crowd's going crazy, and it's Bullet Club everywhere you look, which of course, I'm not a big fan of Bullet Club.
It's peak Ring of Honor, peak Young Bucks, peak everything.
Sure, but you know what I think when I see that? I think it's more about the wrestler than about the wrestling. It's more about the person than it is about the show. And they're chanting for the Young Bucks. The freaking announcer, is it Kevin Kelly? Every time they do a super kick, he yells super kick like a Mexican soccer announcer yelling goal. I'm not a big fan of this match, Encyclopedia. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We've got the other half, and maybe we can come. Maybe when we get through the rest of this, maybe there will be some redeeming values.
Could they perhaps maybe do a wrestling move?
Maybe.
That might work out in their favor, because so far, all I've seen are a lot of really carefully orchestrated, choreographed high spots. So I hate to be a hater, and I hate to ruin your undefeated record, but right now I'm kind of...
Streaks are made to be broken.
True. You tell that to the Undertaker. Or the Undertaker's fans. Or haters of Mr. Roman Reigns and Brock. Jeez. Yeah, 2-for-1 special. Taker, I love you, Taker. Hey, did you watch, this side note, but did you watch the Stone Cold, what?
Oh, no. I was just doing the face of the Undertaker guy that lost.
Oh, the guy, yeah.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched that, and I watched the Goldberg one. And I
haven't watched the Goldberg one. Was it good?
Goldberg one is good because you understand a guy that was put into an untenable position, given an untenable, gimmick. He looked like Stone Cold. I mean, and they get back and forth about the whole one got called the other.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that in the very beginning when he says in the airport, people would say, hey, Stone Cold.
There's a lot of really interesting stories about him, but you also that you understand what a pro athlete from professional football going into wrestling uses that kind of mindset like that. So watch it on the network, guys. Phenomenal stuff.
No, I actually did see that part, because in the very beginning, I watched the beginning where he was talking about how the work at the power plant wasn't as hard as what he was doing in the NFL or at Georgia State, I think it was. So he said they weren't going to break him because it wasn't that hard, which everything I've seen in professional wrestling school, everything I've heard about professional wrestling school is that it's freaking brutal. So if Goldberg thought it was a walk in the park, he's a freaking machine.
I believe so.
We've heard about the athleticism of Goldberg and, of course, Brock Lesnar. So maybe those guys really are as great as they say they are.
I would think so.
All right, now this match is full of some great athletes, but I think I'm missing a little bit of storytelling. Only time will tell. We're about halfway through the match. We invite you to watch it with us on Honor Club. This is Ladder Wars number 6, only on Honor Club, right?
Yeah, All-Star Extravaganza 8 or 6.
All-Star Extravaganza 6, only on Honor Club. See you in a bit. All right, we're back, and we just finished Ladder Wars 6, Ring of Honor. You know what I noticed? Ring of Honor is like an amazing source of talent for what is currently the WWE. Ring of Honor used to be freaking awesome. The crowd was huge. They were excited. They were pumped. The talent, you got Adam Cole as the champion, right? You got the Young Bucks as the tag champions. Who was the TV champion?
So at the time, Bobby Fish.
Okay, see? Talent for days. Ring of Honor was killing it. I mean, I think today they still have a lot of talented wrestlers, but the crowds have just shrunk so dramatically, and ticket sales seem to be kind of in the toilet. So, I mean, I don't want to talk bad about Ring of Honor, but I feel like Ring of Honor has fallen off a bit. Am I wrong?
I think that we're definitely at like the heyday, the height of it. The height of Bullet Club was also a thing here.
True,
so
very true.
You have a very rare situation where you had once-in-a-lifetime talent in this business, because in the next year, all those guys, Roddy Strong, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole all leave for WWE because they start their stuff in 2017.
Nice.
Same thing with Young Bucks leaving at the end of 2018 for this Cody Page. And then you have all these guys getting built over the next year after all of Cole and those guys leave. They're like, no, don't leave. We'll help you make a pay-per-view. And guess what? They left after it.
That's insane. Now, this was a very entertaining match. I will say this, if you haven't seen it, it is most definitely worth watching because, I mean, the spots alone are eye-poppingly huge and entertaining spots. Now, I didn't personally like the way it all played out story-wise, but man, I'm gonna tell you the MVP of that match is Christopher freaking Daniels. That guy was the whipping boy. We always said they get isolated. Well, Mr. Christopher Daniels was isolated. To the extreme. That dude got his ass kicked. Let's just keep it real.
And then what'd you think of that construction of those barricades?
Oh.
And then he got power bombed on and slid off.
It looked unforgiving just the way they set it up, but I thought, okay, it's gonna break. Because you told me yesterday in that other video that they have those wooden things that they all pound on. That was one of the wooden slats, right? So I figured he's gonna go through this wooden thing.
It's gonna break.
I figured it was gonna break. It did not, okay? This man took a bump onto this big wooden Ring of Honor sign and went nowhere.
He slipped right across.
That was tough, okay? Now, there are a couple things that happened that I will say, and I said before, are a little convenient as far as the way people end up or how they land. You can see people scooting each other or moving each other into position.
Shimmying in the direction.
Yeah, for whatever the high spot is. And I know that's a part of wrestling, but it happens so much in this match. It happens so often in this match, and it was so freaking notable. If you had somebody in some kind of a submission or some kind of a hold, if you're working a body part while this guy's shimmying or while this guy's getting in position, that's a different thing. But it really felt like they were just waiting and waiting. At one point in the match, America, they really literally, was it Nick or I don't know, one of the Young Bucks is at the top of the ladder and the belts are right here. All he has to do is take the belts down. Instead he opts for another high spot, for another move, which the crowd popped like crazy.
Well, they wanted, I guess I would say in their defenses, they wanted to finish Kazarian off, so that's why they hit him with the Meltzer driver from the top of the 14-foot ladder.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that was cool.
But you're right, the titles were also in hand, and you guys, you know, a bird in the, you know, a bird in the bush.
Yeah, bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Here's the interesting part. Now, I think I'm an old man when it comes to wrestling. I have to admit it. I have to come clean with myself. The Jag is 40. I'm about to turn 41. I think I'm an old man because I always like to think, or at least, you know, kind of believe that these guys were really after the championship, that the championship was the most important thing to them, that the getting to the top of the ladder and grabbing the championship was going to be the goal of the match. But it just wasn't, you know?
It was the high spots.
It was the high spots. Now here's the hard part, Encyclopedia. The Jag wants to keep your undefeated record alive. This match, I was not a fan of the match itself, but I think it's worth watching. And Christopher Daniels kicked all kinds of butt in this match. I won't give you a draw. I won't give you a loss. I will say you made me a fan when it comes to Ring of Honor. You made me a...
How about Ladder Wars? You made you a fan of Ladder Wars.
You made me a fan of Ladder Wars. You did, in fact, make me a bigger fan of the Young Bucks than I was before, but I definitely see the birth of AEW in the Young Bucks matches. I feel like everybody is doing the Young Bucks style in AEW.
Correct.
Which is the high spot fiesta, wait, get in a position, yada yada, you know? I mean, this guy sat in the freaking tombstone position for probably, what, 30 seconds?
Well, he waited for me.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. That part takes me out of the match. It takes the suspension of belief, or the whatever, suspension of disbelief, whatever, takes me out of the match because I want to see tension. I want to see, you know, conflict, you know? Am I hating?
No. I think it's very fair. I think it's very fair criticism. And again, you know, to prove that, you know, Jericho did have a in-locker room meeting with people and kind of said, guys, you're bearing some people, and you need to follow some conformity. So I don't think you're coming from out of left field.
Yeah.
I think it's probably what will be a more rising opinion, that more people are kind of saying that it's like, we do need some of these rules and regulations, because what separates it, you know, what if there's no disqualifications and there's no holds barred, and you start out like that, what else do you have left to go to? And that's kind of, I think the whole point is you got to leave some meat on that bone for these things.
At one point in this match, for probably the third time, Christopher Daniels picks up the ladder, holds it right in front of him, and walks towards the Young Bucks. Actually, it was him and Kazarian, and they walk toward him like this. Of course, they super kick the freaking ladders. And then, this is probably the worst part of the match for the Jag. After they take it, they then put their heads through the ladder.
For one more.
I mean, you went like this, got kicked, and then they both literally popped their heads through the ladder to eat yet another freaking super kick. So, again, I'm gonna give you the point because it was entertaining. I'm gonna give you the point because Christopher Daniels is freaking fantastic. I'm gonna give you the point because this match is 100% worth watching. It is entertaining, but it took me out of the believability. It made me, kind of took some of the energy out of the match.
If it wasn't for the tag titles and it was like something else at the top, like a, you know, a pop a buck on the pole match.
Something, that'd
have been okay, because they hit the high spot for Papa Buck and then get the title.
I didn't feel like this was a grudge match. Now, when we watched the other match, what was the other day? It was
AMW and Lex. That was definitely, I mean, 17. In the package they said it took 17 months to get here. That was a
story. That was a grudge match. If you had bad blood between the Bucks and Kazarian and whatever, they were like, I'm gonna finish this dude because I freaking hate his face,
and this is the only way. This is the only way to get the tag titles and to end this.
Yeah, if he had put his head through a car window last week and he was like, well, I'm gonna, you know, remember my, you know, something. Give me something to make me buy into the story. The problem is there was no story here.
Right.
It was just a collection of spots, but it was still worth it. The Encyclopedia is still undefeated. I hate to be negative on one of these videos because I want to respect all wrestlers. I want to respect the effort that was put into that, which is why you get the point. Out of respect for the people in the ring. But guys, we can do better. AEW, you can do better. WWE, you can do better. But yeah, this was a little hard to watch for me because it felt so...
So where can they find us on social media, sir?
All right, if you want to find us on social media, you have to go to @MakeMeAFan316 on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. You can always find us right here every day at 9 a.m. Pacific time for new videos and new content because we are prolific and gifted. If you never want to miss a video, you got to hit the bionic elbow on that subscribe button, and right next to the subscribe button there's a little bell. I want you to ring that bell so you get a notification each and every time a new video is posted. Make sure you like this video. Even if you don't like the video, hit the dislike button on this video, but in the comments tell us why. Let's continue the conversation down to the comments and tell the Encyclopedia what match he should have me watch next, or just weigh in on what you thought of this match. I hope you liked this match. If you didn't like this match, let the Jag know, let the Encyclopedia know. And is that it?
I think that's it.
We'll see you tomorrow.